I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
All right, welcome back, everyone. So, let's say this is episode 87.
7, yeah.
It really is 88, but we'll, it is 87 in our hearts of the best thing we've seen podcast. My name is Flo.
And I'm Gabe. How are you?
Doing okay, man. How are you doing? You're the one who's been sick.
Way better. I gotta say, when we recorded our last episode, the special, I felt a bit under the weather before we recorded, and I tell you, towards the end of that episode, I don't know if you can hear it, I felt like absolute garbage. And I think, yeah, ever since then I was sick.
That's what usually happens when people talk to me for 2 hours.
But, I haven't been this sick for over a year, maybe 2 years.
Really? What happened?
Yeah. I have no idea. I think there's just a flu going around. I mean, it wasn't a small C that got me. It was something else, luckily, but still sucked. But I think, especially since, COVID, I'm way more careful. I don't go out as much. If I do, I wear a mask. I don't fucking touch my face. I wash my hands. So the possibility of me getting sick was way down, but still I managed to get sick and it sucked. It fucking sucked.
What did you say? It wasn't the small C?
The small C, COVID. The big C is cancer, so...
Oh, I did not know that terminology. Yeah, okay, yeah. yeah. Yeah, no, I couldn't tell when we recorded. I mean, you said it to me afterwards, but I don't think you can tell on the recording.
I'm glad. Towards the end, I was just like, Jesus Christ, I need to lie down. I hope this is over but soon. But I kept talking. I kept pretending everything's fine. I mean, you've been sick as well a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I couldn't have given it to you, though. I don't think we saw each other.
I don't think so either. I mean, we saw each other very shortly, a couple of days before I got sick, right? We went shopping together.
Yeah.
When we're shopping, I mean grocery shopping.
I mean, yes, but I still don't want to take the blame for this.
I don't know. I think I know, like, very certain where I got it from.
Okay.
And it's fine.
Yeah, there are so many people are getting sick in my circle. And it's not COVID. So, yeah, some... weird flu is going around, or not weird, but I didn't have any. I didn't have fever, so it's a weird one, yeah.
Right,
but we're back talking about the best thing we've seen all week. I guess over the last 2 weeks, actually, and we must mention
3 weeks. Sorry,
3 weeks.
Yeah, technically, right? Because you got sick, then we had a special. Now we have this.
No, but didn't we have an episode before the special?
I honestly have no fucking idea anymore.
I think we did, right? No, we did. We did have a...
Okay.
Yeah. It was the one before that. So we're currently recording this whilst sort of in the midst of the Viennale, the Vienna Film Festival, and I'm just jogging from cinema to cinema currently, watching so many things, and you haven't been able to go, or just one film yet, right?
Yeah, I was supposed to see 2, but one of those was on the weekend right when I got sick, so I didn't manage to go.
Yeah. So we discussed this beforehand, and I felt like it was a better idea to just, because we're going to see a couple of films together as well. Viennale is still going to be for a couple of days when, like, on the day that we're recording this, we still got a couple of days ahead. So we're just going to talk about the entire festival next week, because we're going to have some stories to tell that from films that we saw together, and we'll just like discuss our favorites from this year's festival. So because we do have a few other things to discuss, a few other picks to choose from for this week's episode.
Yeah, and from what you hinted at, it looks like this has been a big year for you at the Viennale, because I know you always watch quite a bit more than I do, but this year it sounds like you've watched like the half the fucking program.
No, it's the same as every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. I'm not watching more than usual now.
What's like your average, you would say, of films you watch every year?
I'd say it's embarrassing. I don't want to give that away. I mean, I got to say, this is my favorite movie time of year. So I'm just watching as much as I can. No, well, not as much as I can, but
As much as you would enjoy.
As much as I would enjoy. Thank you. And yeah. Like I'd say the average is between, let's say, 12 and 15 a year.
Jesus Christ, it's like twice what I watch every year.
Yeah. I mean, I
think
love
my
it.
average the last 2-3 years is like 6.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're way ahead of me there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm
always wondering, what are you watching? Like, when I look at the program, I'm so sorry, we should get on with the episode. When I look at the program, I'm like, okay, there are like 4 things that I find enjoyable, and then like 2 or 3 things that I think would be interesting.
Right.
And I don't know how you find the time or what you're looking for when you look at the program. You're like, I don't know.
Well,
Let's go for this and that.
Yeah, finding the time, I'm always trying to, like, if I watch a lot, then I'm trying to do it like in double features. So that I'm not going there like 3 times a day. So that I can go there once, watch 2 films, and then leave. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to many of the films that are coming out. But I was just about to say, I'm not the biggest fan of this year's program. And I feel like the Biennale used to be like a couple of years ago, they had so many great films, and they were so much more mainstream. And that's probably I'm in the minority here, because they're now trying to branch out and show like more lesser known films and promoting Austrian films, and obviously different kinds of films that I usually wouldn't watch. So I'm excited to watch those, but I'd rather see more mainstream things there as well, because I'm just a mainstream bitch, you know. I love Hollywood, you know. Give me all the Hollywood.
Sure.
Things.
I mean, I get it. When I looked at the program this year, I was quite lost at first. Like, okay, nothing like jumped out at me or like said anything to me. Like nearly nothing. So yeah. I'm surprised that I even found 6 things that I wanted to watch.
Well,
or rather had time for. I think there would have been 1 or 2 other things, maybe even. But you know, who has the time?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about all those things next week.
Yes.
But yeah, how are we going to do this week? Do we have anything to like recap on the horror special? Did you enjoy it? Do you want to change anything? Did you miss anything?
I gotta say, I loved the intro. Good job on that. Also, nice touch on the little icon in the middle of the cover.
Oh, thank you.
No, I gotta say, I am quite happy with my list for once. But I gotta say, ever since then, I still think about It Follows so much. I don't know why it left such a big impression on me.
Yeah.
I gotta say, if I recommend one of the films on this list, it's probably It Follows, and also, The Witch. How about you? Do you have any second thoughts on the list?
No, not at all. I just, no. Once that was done, editing, recording, and uploading, I've been in the festival mode ever since.
Sure.
Essentially, it came out on the Monday, and then that's when I think I saw my first film on Thursday before that. But it really started for me from that point on. So, yeah.
I'm so excited to hear what else you watched, because...
Well, I won't mention all of them. I can tell you right now, because there's been some disappointments. Yes, but I'll mention a few of my highlights. Yeah, I mean, what films were you or are you looking forward to? We can just discuss that without spoiling or giving away anything.
I think the movie that I'm most looking forward to is the one I'm going to watch today, which is Drive My Car, a Japanese film that's supposedly quite good. I think it also got an honor at the Cannes Film Festival, or was it Venice?
I wouldn't know. Yeah, this is not one of my films.
Yeah, I mean, I love Japanese cinema, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I was also kind of looking forward to Annette, because it just sounded and looked so fucking weird.
Yeah,
but that's a movie that I missed, sadly, on Saturday.
Right,
when I got sick. But also, I'm looking forward to the ones that we're going to go together.
Yes,
especially the one that you mentioned as a secret little tip that you got. Of what is supposed to be quite good.
Yeah.
And I have 0 expectations for that movie, so I'm quite excited for that, since I have no idea what it's going to be like.
Yeah, I love that you're staying vague on this one now. Let's not give it away.
I mean, I don't know if it would say anything to anyone. It didn't to me, but then again, I'm not the measure to go by.
Yeah.
How about you? What's like the thing that you were most looking forward to, or looking forward to now?
Well, when the program came out, my most anticipated film straight away was a film called...
Counter?
No.
Okay.
The Worst Person in the World. So
okay.
Super excited for this one. Yes. And that's going to be on the last day of the festival. So really fucking stoked for that. And other than that, I don't know. See that's what I'm saying. The program really didn't floor me. I mean, Spencer is a film that we're going to watch together. I'm looking forward to that because I've been hearing great things about Kristen Stewart's performance.
Yeah, and the director is cool.
Yep, did Jackie.
And he wrote and created Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah, I did not know that. See,
Stephen Knight, right?
No, Pablo Larraín.
I'm sorry, but it's the director, right? Stephen Knight directed, or did he just write Spencer?
Well, it's directed by Pablo Larraín.
Oh, okay, maybe then he just wrote it.
He did. Stephen Knight.
Okay.
Yeah, he wrote it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's the thing that stood out to me.
Is that the guy who did Peaky Blinders, really?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Right. And I'm actually in Annette tonight at 11 p fucking m. So that's going to be a fever dream of a film.
Yeah, dude, you got to tell me about it. I'm watching Drive My Car at 10 at night and it lasts for fucking 3 hours.
Yeah.
So
we can meet up afterwards. I think it's going to be perfect. Yeah. Right. Obviously, we're going to talk about the festival next week in depth. Looking forward to that. But let's talk about our favorite films or things of the week. How many things do you have and who starts this week? I have no idea.
Who starts? I got to say, also have no idea. But I got 3 things, 2 of which I completely forgot about. But before we started, you mentioned, right, there are a couple of things that we saw a couple of weeks or even months ago, over a month ago, that are now coming out that we can now talk about, that we saw in the sneak preview. So I have 3 things. How about you?
I got 2 things. Well, actually, if we include that one sneak film, I have 3 things.
Okay.
And it's a pretty good week. Like, especially 2 things we're really fighting for my pick. But yeah,
excited to hear what it is.
That's why I think it's fine that we're not going to talk about the Vienna Film Festival films just yet because we got so many great things to discuss. And I've looked it up, and it's actually my turn to start.
Okay. So please.
So
sorry.
Yeah.
No. Go ahead.
Oh,
I'm all over the place in my head. Yeah.
You want to do the pitch of the show, please?
Yeah.
please.
I thought you had something else to say before.
No.
No. Yeah. Welcome back to another regular episode. Here we talk about the best thing that we've seen all week or the last couple of weeks since, special circumstances, I guess. And we talk about the best things. So the best movie, best TV show, maybe even best YouTube clip. Something fairly new that came out in the last 6 months or so. And yeah, we're going to start off with a couple of honorable mentions and then work our way to the best thing that we've seen all week. And yeah, like you said, it's your turn to start. So what do you have?
Well, I think we can safely start with the sneak film, right? Because that's not going to be your pick either.
Nope.
And I really want you to set this up because
oh wow,
I'm genuinely terrible with plot. But if it comes to period pieces in 1840s England, which I'm looking at the IMDb synopsis right now, I need your help. So we saw Ammonite, right? Which by the time you're listening to this comes out this week. So
in Austria,
we obviously we're late on everything. But we saw this maybe 2 months ago, one and a half months ago.
Could be.
It's been a while, but
it was still warm back then.
Was it?
I think so.
Maybe it was just the film that made you hot. Tell everyone what it's about.
What a great transition.
Thank you.
Ammonite. It is a telling about the real archaeologist Mary Anning, I think she's called. I looked this up earlier. I already forgot. Is it Mary Anning?
You're right, yeah.
Perfect. Who was a real person, but oh Jesus, I just hit the TV.
You're sitting in front of the TV?
It's a weird setup I got right now.
What are you watching?
I was watching Seinfeld.
Okay.
Where do I stop? All right, it's a real person, but it's a fictional retelling of her life and an encounter she has with a depressed woman who comes to her, or rather her husband comes to her and asks her to take care of her and show her trade, what she does. By that time, she's already fairly established in her field and lives with her mother on the English coast and is quite reclusive and doesn't really want to interact with anybody. But, money changes her mind to take care of that woman. And, of course, the protagonist, Mary Anning, is played by the great Kate Winslet, and the woman she's supposed to take care of is played by Saoirse Ronan. 2 very big actresses.
Yep.
Who then, kind of get involved in a sexual or romantic relationship. And I gotta say, this movie felt like a complete knockoff of A Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Interesting. Yeah, I actually saw the latest film of that film's director
Oh, okay.
at the Viennale. Yeah,
Oh, really? What was it? What's it called?
we're gonna talk about Viennale films.
I just want to know the name.
Well, I'll let you know what I've seen so far. So it's called Petite Maman.
If I had known that, I would be more interested. But yeah.
But anyway, we'll talk about that next week. But it's an interesting comparison. I actually didn't think of that, but sure.
Yeah, just because of the period, and it's a woman who's quite established, who is supposed to take care of a depressed young woman, and then a relationship kind of ensues, and the impossibility of them really being together.
Right.
It just felt so similar. Also, like the tone being on the coast, like the old ocean theme they got there, felt quite similar. And it's got some very steamy scenes between Kate Winslet and Saoirse Ronan, which is an unlikely matchup that I didn't think I would see on screen, completely fucking naked.
Surprisingly steamy, yes. I think we talked about this afterwards, that this was one of the more explicit scenes that we saw together. I remember we talked about this in the friend group, and we're reminiscing about other films where it was similar to that. Do you remember the good old times? No, but you got to admit this, right? I mean, we talked about the Handmaiden was quite graphic. Like in terms of mainstream.
Did we watch it together?
Yes.
I don't quite... Right, Top Kino. Yeah. Great movie. But yeah, that
was
I
my
think
hand
that
you
was
felt, you know?
Your hand who made me. But yeah, I think that's probably the most explicit that we ever saw together.
Yeah.
But apart from that, especially in the sneak preview, that's like definitely in the top 3. I am not sure what else we watched. Like, how explicit was talking about the bees, or what it was called?
Talking about the bees was explicit?
Is it even called that? Wasn't it?
Did you not watch that?
I did, but I don't remember it because it was fucking awful.
I love how you bring it. Why are you bringing up this film? Wait, did that have
it was
steamy
explicit,
sex scenes? Was it?
Sure,
Did
it was like also like a lesbian relationship with quite steamy sex scenes, wasn't it?
I don't remember that at all.
And I don't know how steamy they were. I know there were sex scenes, or at least one.
I forgot about them, apparently. What was that film called again? Talking about the bees?
Or Keeping with the Bees?
Wow.
I don't fucking know.
I wouldn't even know how to look this up.
What was the main actress's name?
I have no idea.
She's in X-Men and...
it was called Tell It to the Bees.
Tell It to the Bees. That's it. What was her name?
Oh, that's not even for me this time. Yes, it's usually at my place. Tell It to the Bees. There was an ambulance going by. I don't know if probably the noise gate cuts that out. Tell It to the Bees.
Anna Paquin. That's her name, right?
Yes. I forgot that Anna Paquin was in this film.
Yeah, right. I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of hers.
Yeah, you're not, or you are?
I'm not a big fan. But were you a fan of Ammonite? I mean, you said that you already didn't like the setting, which I kind of agree. Yeah.
Did I say that?
Yeah, right at the beginning. But
and I said that I'm bad with setting up plots in that time period.
Okay, okay.
I didn't like the setting.
Couldn't just let me be right.
No, I mean, I thought it was... I haven't even rated that film yet. See?
I don't know if I did.
I completely forgot about this film again, apparently, as well. I thought it was okay. I was surprised by the Steam. I actually wrote a letterbox review saying glad I didn't watch this one with my parents. Maybe that sets it up perfectly. Yeah. No, it was a bit dull. I mean, both characters seemed very, sad all the time and desperate, or not desperate, depressed. And then they found some happiness with each other, but then in the end, it was always like Kate Winslet never really knew what she wanted. And Saoirse Ronan's character really completely fell in love with Kate Winslet's character, and it was a kind of also the ending was very, very like unsatisfying.
Yeah, and very abrupt.
Yeah,
I felt like. I also gotta say, it felt like fake artsy with like the characters actively not speaking when they could have just spoken to each other. There's so much fucking silence and just looks in such long takes. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, it's so fucking boring right now. Just say a fucking word, have some dialogue, I don't know, but nothing happens. I feel like there's like 20 minutes that you could have just cut.
Right.
And yeah, but I gotta say, one scene that kind of stood out to me was the scene where the mother like cracks open an egg. Don't know why, but that really stayed with me. But apart from that, when she finds that like the dead fetus in there,
yes,
and kind of alludes to her children.
right.
I like that scene, but apart from that, it just felt way too slow and uninteresting. And it's a weird fucking take since it is a historical person, but whatever they portray in this movie never happened, or there's like no evidence whatsoever to this. It's just a free, a thought experiment, I suppose. But I think it's weird. Why would they take a real person to base this on?
Yeah, I mean, I love see the top review right on Letterboxd. The review with the most likes on Ammonite is actually that's unbelievable.
It's yours.
No. I wish it was. It says in loving memory of Celine Sciamma, she ain't dead, but this might kill her. That's the director of Portrait of a Lady on Fire. So your comparison, you're not alone. Yeah,
great.
Absolutely, yeah, that's perfect. And the next review is no chemistry, just geology. People are writing great shit on that website. I gotta
agree with both. Yeah,
that's a great one.
But yeah,
let's move on.
We need to talk too much about this. What is your other?
No, let's talk about your honorable mention because I think because after that we're gonna get into our picks.
Oh, okay. So yeah, my honorable mention, the second one, is a sneak preview that I saw without you, which is Supernova, a movie by a fairly new director. I think I didn't know his name and didn't know anything that he did. He seems quite young. Harry McQueen. No idea. Not related to what's the other? Steve McQueen. Thank you so much. But it stars two very big actors, Stanley Tucci and Colin Firth. I can once again make a fucking comparison to another movie that we both saw, which this is like, it feels like a fucking knockoff.
Yeah, Portrait of a Lady on Fire?
I wish. No, it is, what's it called? I should have looked this up, but I didn't expect to talk about this movie today. Like The Leisure Seeker. That's the name of the movie that we saw together, I think, in the sneak preview. Do you remember?
Helen Mirren one?
Yes, where she takes a road trip with her husband who is losing his memory and she's kind of taking care of him.
Right.
And this movie is like beat by beat the same fucking story, just with Stanley Tucci and Colin Firth being in a relationship and driving her across England with a RV, and Stanley Tucci has early onset dementia.
Right.
It is the exact fucking same story. I don't know how much else I have to say about this movie. You
didn't like it?
It was all right. The performances were okay. Good, actually, but like didn't blow me away. But they were good. They're two fucking good actors. But just the story was just so boring. And like I said, since I already saw Leisure Seeker, it felt like I was seeing the same movie again. And I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I gotta say. Yeah. It just went by quite slowly.
This is another film that's coming out this week. So in a couple of days after we release this episode. And I hinted at this one before when I said that... let's not talk about the movie about a bald... What was it? A bald guy falling in love or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
A romance involving a bald guy. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I still haven't watched it. I haven't managed to watch it yet because it's not out yet. But if we're going to do the Biennale special next week, not a special, but you know what I mean? We're not going to talk about that either. So I thought you'd love it though. So maybe I'm not even going to watch it.
It would have been good if I had, but it has some very just slow and uninteresting moments. It, like I said, good performances, but apart from that, not much going for it. And I mean, just a very spectacular name for such a slow movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a short one. It's 94 minutes, so...
It's short. It felt long, but it's short. But, it alludes to, Stanley Tucci loving stargazing, and he himself is, of course, a dying star. Beautiful, isn't it?
Did you come up with that yourself?
No, I assume that's what the title is for.
Right. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, but that's my honorable mention. I don't want to go into it too much because I think we have two big things to talk about. At least I have a big thing, and apparently you do too.
Yeah, don't brag. My pick of the week. I'm sleep deprived, so
okay.
yeah.
That's just a usual episode.
No, you are. You are usually, right? I think
I
you
am.
seem to be very fit today. So
Well, I had my morning walk, and
right,
I feel like more of a responsible person lately.
no kidding.
Yeah,
Muscle tough.
I thank you. I'm going to sleep at like 11 p.m., which is fucking
Well, that was
crazy
because
compared to
you've been
3 a.m.
sick, though, right?
I've been sick, and like I think I've mentioned before, I now have a dog in my life lying next to me, sleeping, very cute. I hope she doesn't wake up.
Yeah.
It forced me to have more of a regular life and, to keep regular hours. So, yeah.
Right.
I feel very adult.
Good.
Thank you.
I'm hoping
I hate
to get
it.
there one day.
Want to go back to being a kid and eating cereal at 2 p.m. when I get up.
You'll get there.
When I'm 80.
I'm so certain of it. You'll get there.
So, sorry, what is your pick of the week?
So the best thing I've seen this week is it's a film called Rettferdigendes Rittere.
Gesundheit. You have a stroke?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I thought about trying to pronounce that, and I think
It's a
I shouldn't have
Danish?
done it. It is Danish. See, I did it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, Riders of Justice. Have you heard of this? Because if you're a bastard if you haven't. This is the film of the year.
Okay, I suppose I'm a bastard.
Alrighty. So, we talked about on the underrated special. We talked about the films of Anders Thomas Jensen because he's the guy who directed The Green Butchers, Adam's Apples, and many, many more great Danish films. And his latest one, again starring Mads Mikkelsen, is called Riders of Justice, or the amalgamation of words or of letters that I've been trying to pronounce before. And this film is now finally out in Austria as well. So it is an absolute blast. And what Riders of Justice is about is it's a difficult plot once again, but you've not heard of this, right?
I don't think I have. Is it riders as in riding a horse, or writers as in, writing a piece of
Riding a horse.
Poetry? Okay.
Riding a horse. Yes. You're looking it up?
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh. Okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have asked. No.
No, because I thought you were trying to look it up and couldn't find it.
Okay, good. No. But,
Yeah.
Jesus.
So Mads Mikkelsen, he's like I never know the exact descriptions, but he works in the military.
That's the fucking movie.
They actually, yeah. In
Sorry,
the Viennale thing, they actually promoted this one too.
Yeah, I saw the poster many times, and I saw Mads Mikkelsen is in this, but I didn't know it was from the same director. I thought it looked quite, cheap.
Yeah.
Like a cheap action movie, like a
looks
Liam
like
Neeson
it.
action movie. Yeah.
It looks like it, but it is anything but. So Mads Mikkelsen's character, he works in the military, and his wife dies in a train accident. And two people, like all these actors are in every Anders Thomas Jensen film, right? I don't want to throw out the names because people might not know who they are, but some very familiar faces if you're familiar with his films. Anyway, people who were on that train were actually like not sure if that was an accident. Especially one person, he's like adamant that that wasn't an accident and that was it. That it was a planned tragedy, right? And therefore, he goes to Mads Mikkelsen's character, who lost his wife, and his daughter was on that train too, but she survived. And they tell him like this wasn't an accident, and this was all planned from a gang called the Riders of Justice.
Okay.
And Mads Mikkelsen is obviously, he's like a fucked up guy, and he's a very brutal, and obviously he's now even more depressed than he was before his wife died. He was always like very subdued and distant father and person, but now he's just like, his life just, keeps going down. And he hears them out, and they decide to team up and take revenge on the Riders of Justice. Right? Okay. That's all I'm going to give you in terms of plot. But what Anders Thomas Jensen does, and he always does it brilliantly, is throw in the darkest humor possible. If you love Adam's Apples, I don't know if you've seen The Green Butchers by now.
Not yet. No.
It is very similar in that, and it's such a distinct feature of an Anders Thomas Jensen film, and you watch it and you know that it's his film, and that's that's high praise because you can.
Yeah, like I said, didn't look interesting when I saw the poster, but you just saying the director makes me so interested in this, and I fucking hate it. I got so many things on my plate right now, and there's so many good things coming out that I've yet to watch, and I have no fucking time, but I really want to watch them.
Yeah, dude. We're now is the movie season has begun. The movie season has definitely begun. We're not going to play a trailer of this because it's going to be in Danish and not.
Okay.
I mean,
fair.
Same with like Under the Open Sky. We didn't play a trailer for that.
In a world.
Yeah. But it is really, really funny. It is brutal at times. It is sad at times. Mads Mikkelsen is fantastic as he always is. Really, he's got one scene where he just really breaks down in his bathroom. I'm struggling to name better actors working today.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the dude so much. And I mean, the one other actor I'll name, because we've talked about him before, he's also in The Green Butchers, Nikolai Lee-Kars. He plays like a crazy person in this. I think he's a mathematician or some sort of scientist who's the guy who like thinks this was all planned.
He's not the Nazi from Adam's Apple? Adam's Apples?
No, he's not.
Right?
No,
Okay.
he's not.
Because he's in The Green Butcher as well, right?
Is he?
Isn't he? Maybe it was an other actor that just looked similar that I saw on a screenshot.
No, the guy from Green Butchers, I don't know which one you mean now. There's another guy from Green Butchers in this, I think Nicolas Bro, as Emmentaler. Yeah, thank you. He's hysterical too, as like, I mean, he's the hacker of the team for like the computers.
Gotta have one, yeah.
Right. Actually, no, he's like the surveillance guy. I'm struggling to remember because there's another guy who's like a hacker, and there's a great scene in the trailer where Mads Mikkelsen like stoically asks him if it's possible to track them without a trace.
Mm-hmm.
And he just starts laughing hysterically, and after like 5 seconds of laughter, he goes like, yeah, no, that's not going to be a problem for me. Yeah, so it's a weird dynamic of like these four people who form a friendship. I think it's four. And also the relationship that Mads Mikkelsen has with his daughter, and dealing with her and the trauma that she's been through. So it deals with sad things. It deals with revenge. It's got some great action in it, and it also has these great moments of levity and of comedy that really don't feel out of place if you are familiar with that guy's films. I mean, if you don't know what you're going into, and it might hit you weird, but if you know what you're getting yourself into, it's one of the best times you can have in cinemas this year. And I would definitely recommend to watch this with the biggest crowd possible. Because
where did you watch it?
It's in the Votive Kino.
Oh, yeah.
So you can watch
big,
it
right?
in the original language there. Yeah.
Okay.
No, unfortunately, it's not playing in a very big theater here. I was actually, I thought it might play at the Viennale, but back to my point, they tend to steer clear of these genre films and just throw out dramas that are rather depressing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I gotta say, like in my head, I kind of pictured as the better nobody, like good action, but also, just funny moments, which both, funny moments on the story and also, hard-hitting moments didn't really work for me in Nobody. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
sounds cool.
I would not compare anything to Nobody, because Nobody to me is like a John Wick knockoff.
Sure, but also John Wick and I guess also Nobody's a bit of a revenge story.
No, of course, and Nobody was good too. But it's got elements of that, but it is it's much more than that, if I do say so.
Sure. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of action, but I do like action comedies. So I think this could work.
I think so. It's really not a full-on action film. It's not a full-on comedy. It's a weird mixture of the two. So,
I'm gonna put it on my list of things that I gotta watch and have no time for.
Yeah, but make time for this one. If you haven't watched The Green Butchers yet, maybe. I mean, I think if you watch one, you're gonna watch the other.
Right. Yeah, dude. Maybe next week is gonna be busy. Going to try to squeeze in the French Dispatch and this, and maybe the Sneak.
Yeah.
So much going on. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of things to watch. But check this out. Riders of Justice, one of my favorites of the year.
Nice. Like, I thought Riders of Justice is going to be their name, you know? They're the riders on the train, and they're going to put in some justice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, moving on from that, you said you have another thing to talk about, so I suppose my pick is going to be that thing.
Yes.
All right. And I don't know if we got the trailer for this since
We do.
All right, perfect. I thought we might, but I didn't think about it.
It's a beautiful insight into your brain.
So yeah, the thing that I saw, and you apparently too, is the new Ridley Scott movie, The Last Duel, which is so interesting because I forgot this was Sorry, my nose. I forgot this was coming out since I knew that Gucci is also coming out soon.
House of Gucci.
House of Gucci, thank you. And also directed by him, so I didn't think this would both come out so close to each other.
Yes, sir. He's a busy man.
Yeah, he is. And with varying degrees of success in his movies. Some are better, some are worse, in my opinion. But this was a good one. Not a great one, but a good one, in my opinion.
See, yeah, okay. I'm interested in hearing your opinion on this.
Because The Last Duel, it is about The Last Duel. It's set in medieval Europe and France, and it is based on the historical event of the last trial by combat in France, meaning that two people have come into some sort of legal dispute and it is settled by them fighting, and it also opens with that, and then it tells the story in very much the same way as Rashomon, the big classic of the 1950s. I think it even came out in 1950, which is by telling the story from multiple angles.
Yep.
And kind of you first see it from one person's perspective, and then you see it from the other person's perspective, which is the same story, but very different, implications at times. And then you also see it from another perspective, which is a cool way of telling a story. But I had some problems with it. But before I get into that too much, here's a trailer of The Last Duel, starring Matt Damon, Adam Driver, and Jodie Comer, and of course, also Ben Affleck in Ridley Scott's newest movie, The Last Duel.
I was a good wife. And then was judged and shamed by my country.
I say before all of you, I spoke the truth.
A most unspeakable charge has been brought against you.
Jacques Legris entered our home. He attacked me.
The accusation is false.
I am telling the truth.
The truth does not matter. There is only the power of men.
This should be settled quietly. I'm innocent! I request a duel to the death.
If you lose, your wife will suffer dire consequences.
One of us has lied. Let us let God decide.
You do not believe me.
I am risking my life for you.
You are risking my life so you can save your bride.
So yeah, this was the trailer for The Last Duel. I expect some, medieval music, maybe some clinking of swords and screaming.
Yeah, that was a very professional setup of the trailer.
Oh, thank you so much. I just noticed that I forgot to mention the actor, so I thought I'd just squeeze it in there.
No, I wasn't joking.
Thank you. Yeah. What did you think of the movie? I thought it was good, but I had some problems with the setup, especially since like I just mentioned, they do tell it from different perspectives, but they present one of the perspectives as the truth, and they say that outright. And I was so bothered by that because it takes away all the ambiguity. It was what we talked about so many times before of American movies just, explaining everything to you. Just, make it more interesting. Show us multiple perspectives. We can work out for ourselves which is the most probable from all of this. But just labeling one as the truth kind of bothered me.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay.
I could not agree more. And if you hadn't said this right now, I would have said the exact same thing. It bothered me so much because also obviously there's like a black screen, and then there's like the truth according to Marguerite de Carouge or whatever, and then it just fades away, and then the truth stays there. And you're like, yeah, fuck off. But it's written by Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and Nicole Holofcener. I never know how to pronounce her name. Holofcener? I think that's it.
Sure, yeah.
Who wrote Can You Ever Forgive Me? And she wrote and directed
Land of Steady Habits, which is a Netflix movie.
Right. That's the Richard Jenkins one. Yeah. Oh, no, Ben Mendelsohn one. Right.
Ben Mendelsohn.
Yes. So, which I thought was a great idea. They had like this team, obviously Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, I think not working together since, not writing anything together since Good Will Hunting.
Yes.
And for them to bring in a female voice to write the female perspective, I thought it was a great idea. Great idea.
Yeah.
But my overall thoughts on the film, because this one stayed with me for a while, and I'm not 100% sure what to think of it yet, because I am kind of torn. I really rather enjoyed the film, and it's a 2.5 hour film, and I was in it. I was really enjoying almost every minute of it. But for me, I loved the little subtle differences they did. Yes. Like the little almost comedic elements in it too, when they greet each other, and it changes who says the truce or whatever, who's like the better man. They go like, we shouldn't fight, whatever. That changes depending on the perspective. I love those little things. But I've watched a lot of reviews for this, and people were criticizing that especially the second perspective and the third one were quite similar. Now, I disagree with that criticism, because those little subtle differences make a whole lot of difference. And obviously Adam Driver's perspective. So did you mention what it was all about? So I don't think you have, right? It was in the trailer. I don't think I
have, no. Yes.
So it is about whether or not Jodie Comer's character was raped by Adam Driver's character. And Matt Damon is the husband of Jodie Comer's character. All the characters. The characters. They're married, and then he accuses Adam Driver's character of raping his wife, and therefore challenges him to a duel. And the film tells the story from 3 different perspectives. First from Matt Damon's perspective, then from Adam Driver's perspective, and then from Jodie Comer's perspective. And it's all about whether or not Adam Driver did in fact rape Jodie Comer's character. Now, those little subtle differences make all the difference, but still, I'm in the weird... I'm kind of torn between liking those subtle differences, but then also like being those 2 perspectives were quite similar, and therefore it felt like you were watching the same 20-30 minute sequence again. Yeah. Which got kind of repetitive. You know what I mean?
I agree. I did feel the same of, it is interesting that they do present, a different truth, but I would have enjoyed it more if they put in a couple of more extra scenes of just her experiencing things, but it was mostly the same scenes with subtle differences, which is interesting in its own way, but didn't bring much excitement.
Yeah. I mean, the action I thought was great. The whole duel.
Great. Yeah. Especially since if you don't know the historical events, which who the fuck knows them, makes for a very interesting fight, because you don't know the outcome at all. And I was in it. Yeah. Till the end.
Yeah, I think, and Ridley Scott really, with Gladiator, and obviously he's done so many of these like epics. He really felt like the right director for this film, and he still got it. I think this is one of the best Ridley Scott films since The Martian. So I certainly think it's the best Ridley Scott film since The Martian.
Oh, really? Did you not like All the Money in the World?
I did like it. I do think this is better.
Yeah. I gotta disagree. But what else did he make since then? Because he does a lot of things for director. He's quite prolific.
I think it was just the Alien Covenant that we're missing.
Maybe.
In between The Martian and this, yes.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Which I didn't like.
Yeah, me neither, sadly.
Yeah. But I really thoroughly love Ridley Scott as a director. He's done so many films that I really love.
Like some of the biggest classics ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Blade Runner, Alien, also Gladiator is quite popular, of course.
Yeah. It's so many great things. And he's now like in his, what is he?
Late 60s?
No, dude, that dude
early
is
70s?
older.
I mean, oh yeah, fair enough if he did Alien, which is 1972? 79? Okay.
I think.
What was 1972? The Godfather was not. Yeah,
Yes,
makes
he
sense.
did not direct that. No, but Ridley Scott, he's like in his early 80s, no?
Yeah, what makes... yeah. If he did Alien at late 70s, I would assume he was like in his early 30s. It was like his breakout movie. So like 50 years later, yeah, he could be like 80.
I think he's 84.
Nearly 80, 50 years, yeah.
Yeah, he's about to turn 85. No, he's about to turn 84.
I mean, good on him.
Yeah.
Staying active.
Yeah, and doing 2 films at a time. Or not at a time, but releasing 2 films this year.
I mean, I guess he's just got to stay active at that point.
Yeah.
But good for him. Yeah, I mean, it's cool that he still does stuff. I mean, many other directors in his age don't do anything, except for maybe Woody Allen. But, Francis Ford Coppola hasn't really done anything, or Steven Spielberg.
Well, Spielberg is working. West Side Story about to come out. No,
yeah,
West Side
fair
Story.
enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, fair enough.
But back to The Last Duel, for me, overall, I did thoroughly enjoy this film. And I liked the courtroom elements of it, which are not really that prominent, but it's still, I like the setting and the way they tell the story, even though I'm not quite sure that the Rashomon way of telling it is the most accurate one for that, or the most... I'm kind of torn in between. I got many things that were going for, but many things that really didn't work in the way that I wanted it to. So I'm quite torn on this film, but overall, I do think that I enjoyed it more than the little things that bothered me.
I gotta say, I'm also quite torn on the performances, which were good at times, and also, especially Ben Affleck. I didn't really recognize him at first, which I thought was good, but the accents were so off. At times, I thought they were doing an accent, and then it sounded like Ben Affleck was suddenly from Boston again. It sounded so off to me. Maybe it was just me, but there was something quite weird about the accents, because at first I thought, okay, they're doing American accents. I'm glad about that. I don't really need to hear Ben Affleck doing a British voice when he's playing a Frenchman.
Right.
But at times it just seemed like they were slipping in accents, and it seemed a bit over the top. But other scenes, I thought they were great. Adam Driver, fucking breaking out like a few other actors right now. Like one big role after the other. Yeah,
Adam Driver's having a crazy couple of years.
Yeah.
And I think he's terrific in this film. I love
He's
Matt
good,
Damon.
yeah.
I think people, even with his mohawk, looks just like Theo Von, doesn't he?
He really does.
Yeah.
I love the comparison, yeah.
And
Like
I think
Butch
Comer was
Theo
great
Von.
too. Sorry?
Like Butch Theo Von.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was good. I forgot to look her up. Did she star in anything else big, or is this like her big first role?
Free Guy. She's one of the main actors in Free Guy.
All right, still haven't watched it.
And that was her first film, I think,
Oh, wow, okay.
chronologically. But she's been like blowing up because, well, I'm saying like big film. But she's like, obviously Killing Eve is a show that's been very popular. Written by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know her. I thought she was good. I did like her role. It was also quite interesting, like you said, the court scenes with the king, played by an actor who I've seen before but couldn't quite place. But he added a bit of a, dark humor of, very silly, but, childish, brutal fucking king, like Joffrey-like.
Yeah, I recognize his face too, but I didn't look it up. He was in The End of the Fucking World.
Yeah, right.
Imitation Game as young Alan Turing.
Okay. That's quite young at that point.
Yeah. And he's in The French Dispatch. Look at that. But yeah, he was fun. And it kind of worked for me. Didn't take me out of it.
Quite, a little excursion. Talking about the French Dispatch, you said you were not going to watch this.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so interesting because you do watch the biggest releases of the year. And I know you're not a big fan of Wes Anderson, but I didn't think you would dislike him as much as not to give him another chance of one of his biggest releases now coming out. Once again, one of his biggest releases, his newest release.
No, I've come to the point in my life where I'm just like, I'm not a Wes Anderson fan, and I don't think I'll turn into one. That thing of like giving him another shot, I've done that for the last couple of films. And I don't even hate the films, but I'm just like, the reason why I'm skipping it is just, I'm so preoccupied with the Viennale and with all the films that are coming out that I'm just like, I'm going to skip this one. I'll watch it eventually because it's got an incredible cast. But, I'm just not rushing out to see it. I'll end up watching it eventually. But Wes Anderson for me is not really it. I really liked Grand Budapest Hotel, but that's really about it. That's really about it.
Well, because this kind of brings me to my second realization that I just got. I thought you were going to talk about Venom 2 as well now, because like you said, you realized that you didn't, you know now what you like and what you're not going to waste your time with. I decided not to watch Venom 2 because I know I'm not going to like it. But you watched it, right?
Completely forgot about this. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe should have talked about this on this week's episode. Yes. Hated it.
Yeah. Okay.
Wrap it up like that.
So glad I didn't watch it.
Yeah. But you didn't like the first one, right?
I didn't like the first one, and I knew I wasn't going to like this one. I know this is not part of the MCU. There's no reason for me to watch it, and I was not going to pay $12 for this. Is it? Okay.
Well.
Yeah.
Well. But I liked the first one. That's why I wanted to see the second one.
Okay.
But yeah.
That was ominous. I'll watch it on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah. Right. So what are your overall thoughts on The Last Duel?
Last Duel, I think, cool concept. You don't see it as much, although, like I said, Rashomon did it, I guess, first, but it was like 70 fucking years ago, and I do enjoy it to see it once again. I did like the sets and the fights. It looked good. I thought the performances were good. It did have some low points in the story, some repetition, which is, of course, part of that genre or that type of movie. But it was well done. It just didn't blow me away at times, which is why I think it's a good movie, but it did knock me off my feet. But good ending, great fucking fight scene.
Yeah.
How about you?
No, didn't I already try and wrap up my feelings about it? I'm struggling to do so, yeah. But I agree with almost everything you said there. To me, when I think of The Last Duel and it's you throw a movie at me, it's going to be either good or bad. That's my first feelings. And overall, I'm going to say The Last Duel is definitely good. I really did enjoy the film, even though I had some minor issues with it. And there's definitely only minor, because it was a rather spectacular experience. And, it's always great. I mean, it's got to have a pretty big budget, and you see it.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean,
it feels like a film that doesn't really come out these days anymore. It feels like more of a 90s epic in that way. You rarely see those films anymore.
It reminded me like early 2000 just because of Kingdom of Heaven, of course.
Sure, and Gladiator. You're
easy
right.
Ridley Scott comparison there.
Yeah.
Of his older like medieval movies or antiquity. Not antiquity, that's wrong translation, whatever. Classic.
Yeah.
Roman times, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Ridley Scott, he delivers quality pretty much every time.
He does. Love the guy. And I'm looking forward to House of Gucci.
Me too. Yeah. Even more so than this, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Just because I haven't seen Lady Gaga in anything since Star is Born. I'm excited to see her in something else now.
Yep. 100%. So, do you want to play a game?
A game? I think we're like 50 minutes in, right?
Yep. I'll take that as a no.
I gotta edit this bitch. I mean, a very quick one if you want.
Yeah.
Got so much shit to do. I gotta do a whole fucking costume for Halloween. I'm gonna sew it myself like a fucking
You're sewing it yourself.
I am.
What are you gonna dress as? This comes out afterwards. This comes out after it.
Fair enough. I'm going as Word from Over the Garden Wall.
I mean, I don't even know who that is, but
the main guy, Elijah Wood.
Sure.
How about you? Are you even coming to the party?
No, I'm at the Viennale.
Not even after. Okay.
Well, I will come probably afterwards, yes.
Okay.
I got to
dressed up as a guy who spent way too much money on the Viennale.
Dressed up as a guy. We talked about this before. I got to just wear some sort of suit and
James Bond.
Yeah, Man in Black, Blues Brother.
Sure.
But you chuck out one name and then we'll do a quick last man standing.
Ridley Scott, I suppose.
Oh, I love that. Let's do it.
Right.
You start.
You want to start?
You,
I start.
you start.
Let's go with Last Duel. Let's get it out of the way.
Let's do Alien.
Right. Let's do Kingdom of Heaven, since we just spoke about it.
Blade Runner.
Gladiator.
The Martian.
I'm out. No. All the money in the world.
Thelma
Are we
and
gonna-
Louise. Sorry?
Fair enough. Oh, is House of Gucci fair, or is it still...
I think according to your rules.
Yeah, it's
isn't.
not. Yeah, fair enough. We went so fast that I
This is going to be the
Forgot to
quickest round
think.
ever. Yeah, yeah.
I think so as well. Okay, so since it is franchise rules, I'm also going to rule out Prometheus, right?
No, that counts. Do
That
it.
counts?
That counts.
All right, then
I'm not going to
do
go
Prometheus.
I'm not going to say Alien Covenant though, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do Exodus, Gods of Kings. Is that what it's
Completely
called?
forgot about it. Yeah, have you seen it? Christian Bale and somebody else?
And other people?
Yep. Looked awful.
Gods and Kings. Did I say that?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay. We'll go with it.
Fuck.
Oh,
I know the movie. I forgot the title.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me think about it. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't. How would I know
Okay.
from that?
I don't know. What else did he do then? Because I don't think I will think of the name. I'm going to go with Matchstick Man.
Oh, you bastard. But I didn't even think about that. Body of Lies?
All right. I forgot about Body of Lies. Once again, Russell Crowe, of course.
Yeah.
Leo.
Leo.
Did he do other things with Leo?
I don't think so.
Okay. Right. What was the fucking name of that movie? I hate it. You said The Martian. Did you say The Martian?
I did say
Martian.
I did say
Did
The
you?
Martian. I really did.
Did you say Alien and then Blade
Yeah.
Runner? Okay.
I truly did. I'll help you out. I'm in a good mood.
Let's
Check
go.
out. No, I don't know the name, but
Okay.
do you have a film in your head, and then I can help
I
you
have.
with the name?
Sure.
Go on.
Like, I don't fucking know even how to start with the name. Summarin, whatever. No. You know what I'm talking about,
Good
though,
Year?
right? A good fucking year. I'm not going to take that point. I'm going to take this as a pass. But
Whatever, I said a good year then.
your turn. I'm gonna take this as a pass.
Yeah, I'll say the good year.
Okay, fair. Oh, okay, you bastard.
Well, that's actually the film that I wanted to say.
Okay, fair enough. A good year. I actually liked that movie when I saw it, but it's been some time. Yeah, dude, I think I'm
the
out. Does he
early
have
ones.
much other things?
Yeah.
I
Got a
don't know
couple of-
much of his early ones, to be honest. I just have Alien and Blade Runner in my head, which are
Come on, you got this.
Fucking
You
good
can
movies.
you can come up with one more. I'm not saying that because I feel like there's a huge one, a big one. I need to think as well. But what else has he done? Like early 2000s. It's got to be some big omissions.
honestly can't think of anything.
What did he
Yeah.
do like before Exodus? Like 20. I remember
You have
one.
something.
I got a couple of things, man. I do love Ridley Scott.
Dude, I am out. I'm gonna take the pads and I want you to tell me before I look it up.
Well, The Counselor, the Brad Pitt, Michael Fassbender one.
Right, there was him as well. Bad fucking movie. Or I didn't like
Oh,
it, let's
yeah.
put it
the
that way.
director's cut is good.
Yeah.
His first ever film is called The Duelists. Yes, not
fitting.
The Last Duel, but The Duelists.
Now this is the last one.
Then he
Oh.
did. Hold on a second. Don't look this up just yet. But
I'm looking it up, but I'm not
Yeah.
going to say it.
There was one right after.
Interesting.
Wasn't there a huge one after Gladiator? Like 2001 or 2?
Gladiator was 2000, right? Yeah.
Did you say Kingdom of Heaven?
I said Kingdom of Heaven, but you're right. 2001, there's a huge one. And another one that I did not know he directed.
Hannibal?
Yes, that is 2001. I did not know they directed that, but there's another even bigger one that I'm still missing. Oh, and there's that. Oh, okay. I'm fucking bad at this game.
See, I kind of want to. I don't want to make this episode over long, but I do want to think about this for a bit. Give me some hints.
I'm gonna cut down the thinking time. One thing, let me look it up. Where was I? Is a military war movie.
Oh, Black Hawk Down.
Yes.
Yeah,
that I'm
is that
still
2001?
missing. It is 2001
Oh.
as well. And there's another big one with Russell Crowe set in, I think, the 70s, 60s.
American Gangster.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's another Russell Crowe one, which is supposedly quite bad. I never watched it, and I'm not going to, which is a remake of a popular character.
A remake of a popular character.
You know, like Sherlock Holmes, there's like 20 fucking iterations of that, and there's another iteration of another character that Ridley Scott did.
I'm stuck with this one. What is it?
Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah, that's Ridley Scott as well, of course, yeah.
Yes. It's like some of his biggest ones. I saw Legends, which I've never heard about. Legends, with Tom Cruise. 1985, apparently quite bad, according to ratings.
Right.
Black Rain.
Black Rain, the Michael Douglas one. I've seen that, yeah. That's 1988, right?
It is 89.
89, okay.
Thelma and Louise, you said. I'm still missing that one as well, I gotta say. Really want to watch it, though. G.I. Jane.
G.I.
That
Jane.
was
Yeah.
quite good. Demi Moore, right?
Yes.
And I think that's the biggest one. Like All the Invisible Children, never heard of it. 4,000 ratings, okay.
Right. More recently, we've done all these recent ones, right? With the Counselor,
Vatican,
yeah.
The Martian.
Yeah.
It was Vatican. TV
We
movie.
did okay.
Interesting. Yeah. Quite
We
good,
did okay. Yep. Alrighty.
Okay. We'll take
Let's, yeah.
Upcoming projects 12. Fuck you. Jesus Christ. He's not planning on dying anytime soon.
I hope not. Love the guy. Right. Thank you for listening, and we are going to talk about the Viennale in depth next week, and hope you enjoyed this episode. And please, especially this week, watch the films that we talked about, because they're worth seeing in the cinemas. Definitely. Like The Last Duel, definitely. Don't watch this on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
And
It
Riders
looks
of
quite
Justice
good.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Thank you so much for listening. You can listen to us on anywhere where you get your podcasts from, be it Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Consider leaving a like, a subscribe. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Best Thing Radio, where you can check out the thumbnail that Flo is going to make for us every week. Also check it out on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, with that, I don't know, what have you seen? Have you seen anything at the Viennale? Is there anything you're looking forward to? If so, write it down in the comments. It's been a blast once again. It's good to feel healthy again. Looking forward to next week's episode. And with that, bye-bye and have a great week.
It still bothers me that I'm always throwing in another bye at the end.
I love it.
Do
I
you?
love a little bye. Yeah.
I feel like I'm like, it sounds like I'm trying to get the last word in, even though I'm not.
Oh, no.
I'll say
like
bye and then you say bye again, okay? It's got to be you this time. So thank you for
What
listening.
an awful ending.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.